Good evening. I'd like to call this meeting to order. Today is Wednesday, May 21st of 2025. I'd like to begin by acknowledging we're meeting on the traditional lands of Wausoba First Nation, part of Mi'kma'ki, the ancestral territory of the Mi'kmaq people. Can we all rise for the singing of O Canada, please?
O Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love, in all our sons command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north, strong and free. From far and wide, O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Right now, John, the Maple Leafs would be down 3-0 after the end.
Don't remind me. All right, thank you very much, everyone. Item number 4, approval of the agenda. Is there any additions or deletions as circulated? Madam CEO, I do believe you have one.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. If it pleases council, I'd like to add an addition under new business, Canada Post strike.
Item 8.4, Canada Post strike. Any more additions or deletions? If not, I'd entertain a motion to approve the agenda as amended. Moved by Councillor Daniel Muse, seconded by Councillor Lorne Cushion. Motion on the floor. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried unanimously. Thank you very much. Item number 5, if there's any declarations of conflict of interest, please notify me, and I'll make sure that your name is recorded in the meeting minutes, and step away from the table when you declare that conflict. Item number 6, approval of the minutes. We all have that in our package. Is there any errors or omissions? So no one's mentioned anything. I therefore declare the meeting minutes be adopted. That's the word I'm looking for. Thank you, Councillor Muse. I seen you in a meeting last night. You remembered it, but I didn't. Item number 7, old business. 7.1, active transportation master plan. Councillor Phil Mooney, you have the floor.
We got flashing lights.
We got flashing lights.
Let me I'll just
I'm going to take a 2-minute recess to get the PA system fixed.
for online.
For online.
Just unplug it.
I think it's your mic. I guess that's how you keep Phil quiet. All right, Mike, turn it on. Yeah, it's
Very
working
good.
now.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Mike, for the mic.
We're still broadcasting, Mr. Chair.
All right, I'm going to call this meeting back to order. Thanks, everyone, for your patience, and thank you very much, Mike, for the quick repair of the PA system. So I'll move on to where we were before, old business. Item 7.1, active transportation master plan. Councillor Phil Mooney, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Warden. Over the last several months, Recreation and the municipalities has engaged a firm to look at our active transportation plan. And I had the opportunity, the good news and the bad news, I had the opportunity to I did the session online, but I attended 2 other sessions, and I went to one here the other night, and the CAO was there, and the bad thing is there was no public engagement that night, but the good thing is myself and the CAO had 2 hours with the people from the company that's doing the transportation plans. We had a lot of interaction, a lot of comments, but I'd just like to ask the CAO, there were 17 areas that they recognized that the public talked about it, but I'd just like to get the CAO just to say a few words about where we're going to go in the process and maybe the 3 priorities that we might need some help with on the provincial and federal side.
Madam CEO?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So the Active Transportation Master Plan is an initiative that council asked staff to undertake and present a report to them that would help guide investments in active transportation assets over the next 10, 15, 20 years. And so public engagement was a key piece of that project in terms of what sorts of active transportation assets do the community members want. Sidewalks and trails that we have now, are there ways to improve them or make a better experience? So this is actually the second round of engagement. The first round of engagement was that whiteboard blue sky activity. Meet with the residents we met with them in a number of ways. There was an online survey, we had open houses, we held focus groups with key recreation communities like runners. We met with people who look after the rail trail system, and kind of just, it was all blue sky. You know, if money and time were no object, what would you like to have, kind of thing. And so from that work, the group kind of tried to organize the proposals or the ideas into themes or group-like projects together. And so what came out were these 17 potential projects, 7 of which would be projects that the municipality would own and be the project champion on, and would seek external funding and own the project. The rest of the projects were projects that the municipality could support a community group who's undertaking. So for example, there's a project in Greenville that the Greenville Community Association is working on, and so council can help in a number of ways to support that initiative moving forward. And then there are projects which are so significant that significant partnerships with the province and the federal government would be required. And so for example, the Lake Milo plan that was approved by council a number of years ago, about 50% of the scope of work for that project are improvements to Highway 1, which is under the control of the province. So the province would have to be a partner in that. So on the second round of engagement, it's a bit discouraging, you know, to not have members of the public come out and chat with you at the open houses. So we do still have our online survey live, and that will be live until June. And so check out our website and our Facebook page for the link to the survey. Fill it out, be honest about kind of how you feel about the opportunities for active transportation in the municipality of Yarmouth. One project that is being treated a little bit differently inside this scope of work is the Rockville Trail. So the Rockville Trail is something that was built a number of years ago, and it is a trail, it is not a sidewalk. There's been an evaluation done in terms of how has it stood up over the life of the trail, what types of maintenance should have been done that weren't done, what does the community feel about it now? Does the community want a different asset? Do they like the asset but want it to be maintained differently? All those questions. So the Rockville Trail was being treated separately, but that is one of the top 3 projects that is really resonating with the community, is the Rockville Trail. The other 2 projects are no surprise to me, because the municipality's been talking about them for a long, long time. So one is we call it the airport stretch, so Highway 3 from the town municipal boundary out to the Arcadia corner. That's a high volume traffic corridor, but there are lots of people who like to cycle there. We've got Wassahopa First Nation along that route, and lots of residents of that community want to walk to services, and it's, you know, it's not really the safest place to walk. So the municipality's been working for a number of years with the province of Nova Scotia and Wassahopa and the town to try and put a project together. So that rose to the top. And then the other project that rose to the top that the community is very passionate about is Lake Milo. The community would definitely like to see something happen along Lake Milo. So we're in the home stretch on this project, Mr. Chair and Council. And we expect sometime in the early fall that the public presentation will be made around where we landed on the work and how does it look for council, and recommendations in terms of how council can move initiatives forward in the coming years.
Thank you very much, Madam
And,
CEO.
and Mr. Ward, we have an opportunity in the next couple of weeks. We'll be meeting with our MLA, Nick Hilton, and one of the associate ministers, Dave Bowlby. We'll be down here, I think, in about the middle of June. It'll be an opportunity at that time to talk to those gentlemen about what we have in the hopper for the plan, and where we'd like those guys to, where we would like the province to help us out. But we will need some help on the federal side as well.
Yeah, I do believe that meeting is scheduled for the 12th.
Yeah.
Any more comments on that item under old business? Seeing none, and moving on, item number 8, new business. Recommendations from the Committee of the Whole, 8.1.1, the 2025-2026 budget. We have with us today our outgoing Director of Finance, Mr. Greg Shea. This is his last kick at the can, so to speak, and we have his replacement, Angelique LeBlanc, who's going to be taking over the duties from Greg once he retires. I think it's in September, Greg.
So when it's time, these are the two resolutions.
Yep. So I guess what we're going to do is I'll open up the floor to you, Angelique, not Greg. And you can go through the figures and things that you have in front of us. So,
Yes, certainly. I would just want to say thank you and good evening, Warden and Council. And again, as part of our transition process, I'm going to hand the mic and the floor over to your new Director of Finance, Angelique LeBlanc. And she'll walk you through the various components of our fiscal plan this year that are laid out on the agenda that we'll be looking for approval for this evening to carry on with 25-26. So it's over to you, Angelique.
Thank you. So we'll go over some of the proposed rates for the 25-26 year in the same order that you see them. So residential and resource tax rates remains unchanged at $1.18 per 100 of assessment. The next one, commercial tax rate, remains unchanged at $2.17 per 100 of assessment. The special assessment, which is our sewer rate, is $89.66 per equivalent unit per quarter. So that would also be $358.64 per year. Then we have the fire rates. So they're all per $100 of assessment. So we have F1, which is Carleton, at 11 cents. We have F2, which is Port Maitland, at 14 cents. We have F3, which is Yarmouth, at 20 cents. We have F4, which is Lakes and District, at 17 cents. F5, which is Lake Vaughan, at 15 cents. F6, which is Valley and District, at 10 cents. And F7, which is Kempville, at 8 cents. So these are your proposed tax rates, sewer rates, and fire rates for 2025-26 year.
thank you very much. Any comments from council? If not, I'd entertain a motion on that regard.
I'll make a motion.
You hit your button, please. There you go, Councillor Lauren Cushing, you have the floor.
I'll make a motion that we accept the tax rates as presented from our finance director, Angelique, please, as presented.
I'd much rather see them all laid out. We do have a resolution. Do you have that, Councillor Cushing?
So two separate resolutions, so if you want to read one of them.
All right, okay.
Just to make sure that it's in the books and done out properly, rather than just repeating that, because someone could all just go look and rather than the recommendation. I'd much rather them read out, so please go ahead, Councillor Cushing.
Be resolved that the municipality of the District of Yarmouth approves the following rates for the 2025-2026 fiscal year. Residential and resource tax rates, $1.18 per $100 of assessment. Commercial tax rate, $2.17 per $100 of assessments. And special assessment rate at $89.60 per unit, equivalent per quarter.
Okay, motion on the floor. Do I have a seconder?
I'll second, Mr. Chair.
I seen Councillor Jim Baxter's hand go up. Councillor Jim Baxter seconded that. Comments? Councillor Phil Mooney, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and thank you, Angelique and Greg. Greg, I know this is your last one, and that's, we didn't go through the whole big book ourselves, but Angelique and Greg brought it in, and we had several meetings over a couple of weeks when it came to the operating capital budget and when it came to grants to organizations, and staff went back a couple times with the recommendations that we had, so they brought forward to us, we made decisions, they went back, and you can see that the tax rate has stayed the same, but there's been some significant increases in some of the services that the municipality provides that's been mandated by the province, and maybe you can highlight those, CAO, when it comes to protective services, environmental services, and that'd be collection, and there's another one from YASA that went up just because the way that the province had tiered the room levy, so we had to give those guys a little influx of money, but that'll even out this year because the program didn't start until this fiscal year, so, or Angelique or Greg can jump in at any time.
Madam CEO, you want to start?
Sure, I'll start, but it's a team effort when these figures and this data is being brought to council, so definitely rely on my colleagues to fill in any gaps that I might miss. So there's a significant portion of council's budget that is legislated either by regulation or law, and then there's a portion that the municipality is under contract, and so those amounts are stipulated and set out, and they are what they are. And then there's a little bit left over that council has a little more discretion on. So some of the areas where the highest ratio of the tax dollar is invested is indeed around protective service and environmental services. So the cost of policing is a contract with the RCMP in the province, and then the municipality dovetails in underneath. So the increases annually for the cost per officer are set out in that contract, and they often outpace inflation, which means they outpace the growth in the municipality's ability to raise tax revenues to pay for it. The municipality also went to market this year for curbside collection services. So the previous contract expired on March 31st. We're in a new 7-year contract. And as you can imagine, because we've just come through a period of extreme inflation at a time when the municipality was in a contract with very low increases, there's been a significant correction in the cost of picking up recyclables, garbage, and green cart at the end of the driveway. And in fact, the cost has increased 100%, so twofold. So those are some of the main drivers. In addition to that, the municipality partners with the province to make investments in the public education system. And so the increases to that contribution, again, some outpace inflation and outpace the municipality's ability to raise tax revenue. So those are some of the key areas where we're experiencing significant cost pressures. And the municipality is moving forward, wanting to implement services and programs. And so council's presented with options, and they give staff direction, and then we implement.
You have anything more, Angelique or Greg?
No, I think that pretty much covers it from a higher level view. There's a lot of pressures from other levels of government, the 4 or 5 that were mentioned. Policing, fire protection, sewer, and school, that's roughly 50% of your operating budget right there. So there's nothing.
Yeah, and also
more
one
to
thing that should be pointed out too, many councillors heard over the last election in regards to policing and stuff, and they wanted to see a little bit more in that fact. So council did approve a motion for an additional 2 officers coming up this fiscal, or starting this fiscal. So that's another pressure, and that's something that my fellow colleagues have heard on the street, and council is acting on that request. So Are you happy with the answer, Councillor Mooney? Very good, thank you. All right, any more discussion on the motion on the floor? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried unanimously. Thank you very much, Council. All right, I do believe that there's another motion that needs to be made in regards to the fire rates. Councillor Lauren Cushion, you have the floor.
Okay, thank you. Be resolved that the municipality of the District of Yarmouth
Microphone so they can
approves
hear
the
us.
No,
following.
it is on.
But you haven't turned it on, I don't think.
No, it is on. No, your microphone's on, Councillor.
Yeah. Well, I'd like to make the following motion for the fire rates per 100 assessment for the listed fire areas. Be it resolved that the municipality of the District of Yarmouth approves the following fire rates for the 2025-2026 fiscal year. Fire rate for Carlton at 11 cents per $100 assessment. Fire rate for Port Balin at 14 cents per $100 assessment. Fire rate for Yarmouth, 20 cents per 100 assessment. Fire rate for Lakes and District, 17 cents per $100 of assessment. Fire rate for Lake Vaughan at 15 cents per $100 assessment. Fire rate for Valley and District at 10 cents per $100 assessment. And fire rate for Kempville at 8 cents per $100 assessment.
Motion on the floor, do I have a second? Sorry, motion on the floor, do I have a seconder? Seconded by Councillor Jim Baxter. Any discussion on that? Just thing I want to point out, this is, these fire rates were all determined by the individual fire departments except for the fire rate for Yarmouth. But those are all determined by the community, and that's information is sent to us via the different fire departments, so. Seeing no more comments or questions, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried unanimously. Thank you very much, Council. All right, item 8.1.1.2, the draft 2025-2026 operating budget. We all had a recommendation from Committee of the Whole. Deputy Warden. Oh, Councillor Cushion, your microphone's on. Deputy Warden Trevor Cunningham.
I'll move that Modi approve the 2025-26 operating budget as presented.
Okay, a motion on the floor. Do I have a seconder? Seconded by Councillor Trevor Perry. I finally got your name right. Discussion on that motion. Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried unanimously. Item 8.1.1.3, confirmation of municipal grants. Deputy Warden Trevor Cunningham.
I'll move that Municipality District of Yarmouth, the council, approve the grants as circulated.
Okay, a motion on the floor. Do I have a seconder? Second. Councillor Phil Mooney, I heard. Discussion on those grants. Deputy Warden?
Just say, as always, I enjoyed the process of coming up with the grant amounts, and there were many certainly deserving community organizations that put forward their names and did a lot of hard work to communicate their need to us. And I'd like to thank all the councillors around the table and staff for working through that process. And we really did, I think, take the time and had a good, robust process to arrive at the figures to help the community and really move the municipality of Yarmouth and in the larger region forward with our community grants process. So thanks to everybody, and looking forward to doing it all over again, and looking forward to hearing all the great things that people of our community are able to do with those dollars.
Thank you very much. Councillor Phil Mooney.
Yeah, and also I'd like to thank staff for their work they've done, not only on the operating budgets, but the other budgets too. It was a lot of work. Greg, it's your last one. Thank you. We've spent some time together on the town side and on the municipality Yarmouth side, so I know you're not leaving us, but you're still going to help us out in some capacity, from what I understand, maybe, if you don't get too sick of the municipal world. And Angelique,
Thank you.
you couldn't have anybody better to mentor you into this job, so we're looking forward to working for you. But a question on the grants organizations, we still hold back a little money in case there's a organization or an event or a sporting event that comes through the year, right?
There is a contingency allowance in the total that you budgeted, yes. A small one.
Yeah, you gotta remember that, and every time there's another request comes through, you'll ask me, you'll hear two questions from me. Where's it coming from, and how much is left? Because I believe that was only, I think it was 7, or was it more than that, 7,500?
A little more, maybe. Not much more, but...
Not much more. But I'm really happy to see this. We're helping everyone from the youth to the seniors to different events that's going on. Roaring 20s Car Club one is one that comes out that I love going to. Hospital Foundation, and there's quite a array of different groups. Cycling Without Age, that's another one. Community centers are another beneficiaries of that.
Backpack one's a good one.
Yeah, the backpack one that we had a presentation from from that group, and the list goes on. It's always a process every year, and I'd like to thank staff for putting forward all the different things. We have criteria that we try to follow. It doesn't always work. Also in this, there's placemaking. We hit Barb's Bench, the Central Saboga Church Heritage Society is one. I grew up in that area, and I know when they're talking about parkland contingencies and everything like that. Elementary swim program, I'm glad to see that in there, and with the new pool being built, it's getting people really excited. I'm glad to see this money's in there, so it's going to benefit many people throughout the community and help out many groups put on different events and help people that really need it. So, is there any more discussion on the motion on the floor? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried unanimously. Thank you very much. And I do believe, Greg and Angelique, I do believe your work is done here. Once again, Greg, thank you for your many years of dedicated service. I've been here a little bit longer than you, but not all that much. But on behalf of the council, the staff, and the residents, thank you for everything that you've done for the municipality over the years. I know it's not easy doing stuff like this. There's a lot of things that are on your plate. As you can see in front of the binder, that's about yay thick in front of you, and that's only one of the binders that he deals with. So, Greg, thank you very much for your service to everyone in the municipality.
Well, thank you for your words, Mr. Worden. It was a pleasure. 16 years of very interesting times, very different experience from other sectors. But it was a learning curve at first, and then very enjoyable to be able to do some work in the public sector, even at this level. And now I know that you're in much better hands now, much younger, brighter blood coming behind me that will help you guys and keep you on the right financial path.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Greg.
Thank you both.
Thank you. All right, everyone, moving on. 8.1.2, request for financial support for IcePad. You have that in your package, a recommendation from Committee of the Whole. Councillor Phil Mooney.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I move that the municipality of the District of Yarmouth approve its share of the $50,000, which our share would be $19,333, for the IcePad replacement in Arena 1 at the Mariner Center.
Okay, motion on the floor. Do I have a seconder? Seconded by Councillor Daniel Muse. Discussion on that? Madam CEO?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So just looking at the language, so this is exactly the motion, the recommendation that came from Committee of the Whole. But this first draw on that project is actually for design work for the replacement of the ice at Arena 1. The total project's going to be about 2 million. So I'd like to recommend that council consider an amendment to the motion that would read for design work on the ice pad replacement in Arena 1.
Is someone willing to make that an amendment to the main motion? Okay, amendment made to the main motion by Councillor Daniel Muse. Do I have a seconder on the? Seconded by Councillor Phil Mooney. All right, we're talking about the amendment on the main motion. Is there any discussion on that? Seeing, yeah.
That is in progress right now.
Can you turn on your mic, please, Councillor Muse? Thank you very much.
This motion, this design, Colliers is in progress right now of getting ready to come to tender, hopefully in the next month or so.
Yeah, okay. Thank you very much. Any more discussion on the amendment on the main motion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. All right, everyone, back to the main motion. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed? Motion carried unanimously. Thank you very much, Council. Item 8.1.3, YASTA presentation request. Councillor Phil Mooney.
I'll make a motion that the Municipality of District of Yarmouth invite Neil McKenzie, CEO of Yarmouth and Acadian Shores Tourism Association, YASTA, to make a presentation to the Committee of the Whole.
Okay, a motion on the floor. Do I have a seconder? Seconded by Councillor Trevor Perry. Discussion on that?
Mr. Chair.
Still have the floor.
I know Mr. McKenzie's going to come in and he'll have a little more detail than myself, even though I'm the chair of Yarmouth Acadian Shores, but he's going to be going to a cruise ship industry meeting in Halifax in June, and he'll be bringing, I think, 6 cruise ship people, bosses, presidents, down on a southwestern Nova Scotia, Yarmouth and Acadian Shores tour. And from the work that Neil's done over the last 3 or 4 or 5 years, because I was involved when I was on YASTA in my previous life in the town of Yarmouth, it takes a long time to turn these things around and to get a cruise ship to make us call in a port like ours, or any port if they're not doing it already. And we have 3 coming in October. So I think there's 150 crew on each one of the boats that are coming in, and between 200 and 245 passengers that'll be in the town of Yarmouth for 3 separate days. I think it's the 6th, 16th, and the 18th of October. So he's already got things there. He's going to have interpreters. He's going to be taking a tour of the region, but the work, it's almost like building a house. He's already built the foundation, and now we're going to see some rewards of some of the work that Neil's done over the last several years, and the other people in the Yarmouth and Acadian Shores. So he'll speak to more of that, and I think we have some other things in the hopper that he'll be more than happy to tell us about.
Thank you very much, Councillor. Any more discussion on the motion on the floor? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried unanimously. Item 8.1.4, 2025 legislative agenda amendments. You'll have that in your package. Deputy Warden Trevor Cunningham, you have the floor. Microphone. No, it's my fault. Go ahead.
No worries. I move that the Municipality District of Yarmouth approve the amendments to the 2025 legislative agenda as circulated.
Okay, a motion on the floor. I have a seconder. Seconded by Councillor Jim Baxter. Discussion on that? Seeing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried unanimously. Thank you. Moving on, item 8.2, second reading of the sewer bylaw. You all have the second reading of the sewer bylaw in there. What is council's pleasure? Deputy Warden Trevor
I'll
Cunningham.
move that the Municipality District of Yarmouth pass second reading of the sewer bylaw is circulated.
Could you state the number of the sewer bylaw, please? Just for our records. I can put words in your mouth. S-084-25.
S-084-25, but it's clearly the one that's circulated.
Okay, thank you very much. Seconder? Seconded by Councillor Jim Baxter. Discussion? Seeing none? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried unanimously. And I guess I'm going to ask the CEO this question, which I do every time. In this regard, does this require ministerial approval?
No, it doesn't, and there's no public hearing.
Okay, thank you very much. I think you're anticipating those questions now. Item 8.3, support for the PCAP funding submissions. The NWRBP Phase 2 Watershed Collection System. Yes, Madam CEO.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So I just want to quickly speak to this. So the municipality had made an application for external funding to help offset the cost of the wastewater components for the expansion at the business park. And that application had been unsuccessful. But this program, the Provincial Capital Assistance Program, has opened up again. And so we had an application package and a shovel-ready project ready to go. And so this resolution is required in that package. So you may be thinking, didn't we already approve a resolution for this? You did, for another application that wasn't successful. So we're taking another swing at it.
Councillor Phil Mooney.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Whereas the municipality is committed to advancing economic development by supporting the Nova West Regional Business Park Phase 2 Wastewater Collection System project to provide critical infrastructure for business growth, therefore be it resolved that the Council of the Municipality of the District of Yarmouth supports the submission of funding application for the following project. 1. NWRPBP Phase 2, I might put an extra P in there, wastewater collection system to develop essential infrastructure required for expansion and effective operation of the business park. And be it further resolved that the Chief Administrator Officer, CAO, is authorized to execute and submit the funding applications and any supporting documentation required for these projects.
Okay, a motion on the floor. Do I have a seconder? Seconded by Deputy Warden Trevor Cunningham. And the NWRBP is the Nova West Regional Business Park.
Yes.
The type
Park.
There's so many acronyms out there. I was afraid to say it until I made sure. Councillor Mooney, you have the floor.
And just for the audience and the people out in looking at us live streamed, here a month ago we had Paul Beasley that works for Property Valuations Service Corporation, and one of the other people that work for PVSC, and came in and they gave us an overview of the tax base in the municipality of the District of Yarmouth. And I think one of the things that I didn't realize until they brought it up is the discrepancy or the difference between the amount of money we collect commercially compared to residentially. It's quite a thing. I think we're in the 94 or 5% of all the municipalities is where we get the money from the residents, not on the commercial side. So us doing these projects, and in this one that we passed earlier, there's projects in there that is going to expand our commercial base, right? And that's what you want. You want to expand business, you want to expand the business park. People are looking for lots in there. They want to put businesses in there. They want to put operational services in there. And I think this is a great opportunity for us to lessen the tax burden on the residents of the District of Yarmouth. But it is going to take a little while, and this is one of the major steps that we can do to lessen the burden, or keep it the same.
Absolutely. Deputy Warden?
Yeah, well said, Councillor Mooney. I agree with all those points, and that is an important piece. And of course, we are really heavily skewed toward the residential tax revenue, right? To your point. The only thing I will add is the importance of keeping those engineered shovel-ready projects in the hopper. And we are spending a few dollars on engineering, but it's better to spend those few dollars on engineering and then get the 50-cent dollars or the 70-cent dollars or whatever it be the case, because those are big projects. And if you can get, like the Mariner Center, for instance, the 3 units, that's not just us, but the 3 units are sharing in that project about $10 million, and it's a $42 million project. So that's really good value for the taxpayer money, and that really helps the region and our local municipality really grow, and gives us the way forward. So all good points, and I'll be speaking obviously in favor of the motion.
Councillor Phil Mooney.
Yes. And Councillor Cunningham for the Federation of Nova Scotia Municipalities sits on the Infrastructure Committee. So he spoke here a couple of months ago at the conference and gave us an overview on where they are. But this last one that I went to in Truro, I had an opportunity to speak to the Deputy Minister of Infrastructure, Paul LaFlesche. So any hospital, any school, road, any piece of any piece of provincial infrastructure that is built, he's in charge of it. And the number one thing he said at that conference was, have things shovel ready, have them engineered, and it's a quick way to turn it around and get it out the door, because some municipalities might have a project but not have it engineered, but the government at the time will have the money to do a project, and they're looking at something that's engineered, shovel ready. So, and that's one of the things that you spoke about a couple months ago, was having things ready and ready to go. So this is one of those things that we have to do.
I absolutely agree with the motion that's on the floor. It's something that we have to do, absolutely. We really need to make sure that we're ready when those dollars do start flowing. Also, there may be other projects coming down with the new federal government. We don't know what's coming yet, but we have to be ready. Any more discussion on the motion on the floor? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried unanimously. All right, item 8.4, the addition, Canada Price Post strike. Madam CEO, you had asked to have this added.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So it's an awareness piece primarily. So it's apparent that the postal workers will be on strike tomorrow or Friday, and the municipality corresponds with residents largely by mail in a lot of cases. And in some cases, the municipality is required by law to correspond with residents by mail. Council approved the budget and the rates this evening, so I have the dubious job of saying that means tax bills are coming, and so they generally go out by mail. So a couple of things that we kind of have on the radar. We're going to promote other options for people to receive correspondence from the municipality. We're going to support other ways of making payments other than in person. We're going to do all we can to support residents and clients to continue to do business with the municipality. We were very good at innovating during the pandemic, and so we're going to dig into that toolbox again and just do what we can do to get the job done for residents. So one piece that we might be coming to council with is an extension on the due date for taxes. Normally taxes are due 30 days after the taxes are levied, which means that when the bill is printed, but we may be coming to council asking for additional window there, just to give people a little bit more time who can't use other mechanisms to receive mail from the municipality or send money to the municipality. So just to let council know, we're working on a plan, we've got some ideas in the hopper, and we might be coming back to you for permission to provide a little extra time to get things looked after.
I do have one question. Is the due date, once they're printed, are we going to have a regular council meeting before that?
We'll probably be coming to you before that with a request maybe for a special meeting. So we'll know here in the next day or two if the postal workers are going to go on strike. And so the finance team is kind of putting the entire Plan B together. And so if we need permission for a component of that plan, then we'll come and get the permission.
Absolutely, and I'm willing to call that emergency meeting as soon as possible, as soon as we find out more information, if it's going to affect the way that the mail moves. So thank you very much for that update, Madam CEO, because I'm sure we're going to get those questions. I'm sure we are. Excuse me. Item number 9, correspondence for action, 9.1.1, June 4th, the Day of Awareness, Barb's Bench.
So thank you, Mr. Chair. I have this in the package as an item for action, just to remind the members of council that the municipality is sponsoring this program with the purchase of 2 benches, as well as supporting the event that's being held in Frost Park on June the 4th. And also to get it on the airwaves and remind the public that this is a public event. You can go to the municipality's website or the Facebook page for more details. But on June the 4th, the community of Yarmouth, in partnership with the town of Yarmouth, the municipality of Argyle and the municipality of Yarmouth, is going to raise awareness to domestic and gender-based violence by holding a special ceremony in Frost Park and unveiling one of the 5 Barb's benches that's being installed in the community. So we want to raise awareness. We want to break the silence around domestic and intimate partner violence, and invite the community to come out and support the initiative.
Any more questions, comments? Councillor Daniel Muse, you have the floor.
I just wanted to say, I think it's great that the municipality we bought 2 benches to support this extremely hard day for a lot of people, and that it's a great event, and I'm looking forward on June 3rd to being at this ceremonies, because it's something that definitely has to be recognized in our community, in our province, and in our country. A lot's been happening just in Nova Scotia alone, so really happy that we were able to do this. So look forward to seeing everybody on June 3rd. Thank you.
It's June the 3rd.
June 4th?
It's not June the 3rd, it's June the 4th. Yeah. June 4th.
You're get there early, Dan. I will.
Yeah, I'll be attending as well, and it's a very important day of awareness of domestic violence, because no domestic violence is acceptable. Thank you very much. Any more comments or questions on that? June the 4th. I don't know, June, that date was put in my head. Item number 9.2, for information, we have in front of us 4 different pieces. Response regarding review of the Nova Scotia Accessibility Act, invitation to the NSCC graduation, 2025 YCon Mario Kart Invitational, and the NSFM Code of Conduct Training. Comments or questions on that? Seeing none, we'll move on to reports. Item number 10.
Mr. Chair, a motion to receive and place on file.
Oh, I need a motion to receive and place on file the items for information.
So moved.
It's moved by Councillor Phil Mooney, of the seconder, seconded by Councillor Lauren Cushion. Motion on the floor. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried unanimously. They say it takes 47 times to start a habit. Well, I guess that's
Not there yet.
not there yet. About 6 or 7 times in. so it'll take me a while. Item number 10, reports. 10.1, CEO's report. You all have that in your package. Any comments, questions, concerns, highlights, lowlights? Councillor Daniel Muse.
I'll make a motion that we accept the CEO's report as presented.
Okay, a motion on the floor. Do we have a seconder? Seconded by Councillor Lauren. Question. Discussion on that? Hearing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried unanimously. Thank you very much. Item 10.2, Warden's report. Well, I don't know how to start this off, but as some of you know that I've been off here for the past week due to a medical issue, and I'd like to thank councillors for stepping up to the plate and attending events that's been happening during my absence. I'll be back up and going at 100%, I hope, starting this Monday. It's been a tough go. As many of you know, my medical issue has come back from what I had before, but from my last prognosis to now, as far as I know, everything is going well. So thank you very much, Council, for stepping up as a team. We all work together, and I'd like to thank you for that. There's a few events that are coming up here towards the end of the month of May, and a couple of the things I'm going to point out, and then afterwards I'm going to open up the floor to other councillors. As we all seen, Barb's Bench is coming up on June the 4th. And before that, on Saturday, the 31st of May, the Kentville Spring Fest is going on, along with the Royal Canadian Sea Cadets. No, that's a little bit later. The RCC, the cadets are having their annual inspection. I believe that's coming up the 14th. But there's a lot of events that are going on. The cadets annual review is coming up on the 14th. There's lots of different events going on, and I'm going to open up the floor to any of the councillors if there's something in your community or something you'd like to note. Typically, I don't, but rather than giving the chairman all the words of wisdom and things going on, I'd like to open up the floor to councillors for something that you have on your mind, or community events, or something that you've attended. Do you want to make a quick, less than a minute comment about? So the first one would be Councillor Jim Baxter.
I have two. You just triggered me to remember one of them, which is next Thursday morning, I believe at 11, there's a ribbon cutting at Home Hardware for the new owners and the upgrades that they've done. The store looks wonderful. The second one is Port Maitland. It's not this Saturday, but it's the following Saturday, the 31st, from 10:30 to 3, and it's called the Village Connection. It's the local businesses and artists and craftspersons are holding an event. There's last I heard, 28 tables were booked there. So there's going to be a lot of stuff going on. You can see what's offered in and around Port Maitland. It's being held at the fire department. And there's also going to be a fundraiser for the Port Maitland Elementary School community walking trail behind the school. So there will be a lot going on. That's not this Saturday, but the following Saturday, May the 31st, from 10:30 to 3 in the afternoon.
Thank you, Councillor. Next one's Councillor Mooney.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. On June the 14th, Valiant District Fire Department's having Fire Day. So go out and see our friends out in at Valiant District. Should be a great day. They have a great bunch of volunteers there. The average age there is pretty low. They've got a really, really good bunch of solid young individuals that are out there, and every training exercise they have it's at capacity. I think they're over 32 or 33 strong now, from what I understand. They're really good, young. So and they're getting in all their training on the vehicles, air brakes. I drove by the other day. They were doing training out at the lake on the other side for water rescue. So go out and give them a visit. If you're going to go by anything else on June the 14th, go by. It's always nice to drive out in District 3 and say hi to everybody at the fire department. Thank them for their volunteerism, and maybe have a hot dog and just say hi to the guys.
We had a quick discussion earlier about dunking booths. I know there's a dunking booth that's going to be there, Councillor Mooney, and you said you hadn't gone in one for years or refused to go in one. Just before warned that my hands were in on building that dunking booth that they borrowed, so there's the trigger. Got a hair trigger. Thank you very much, Councillor. Councillor Lauren Cushing.
Thank you, Mr. Warden. I just wanted to just let people know that our Pembroke Hall Music Night on Thursday nights is still going strong, where we pretty much have a full house every night that is held, and that's been going on since 2008. So we've done some wonderful things there, and anybody wants some good local music, it's a good place to go. Secondly, just to let everyone know that Cape for Shoe is now open. The Blueberry Fields is running the restaurant there, the canteen, and my wife and I had visited the second day it was open, and had a nice bowl of seafood chowder and some interesting desserts, and the staff down there are very helpful, and it certainly is going to be a busy summer for them, I believe. So just want people to know it's open.
I do have a question for you, Councillor, before you turn your mic off. The Pembroke Hall Music Night was what?
Thursday nights.
Night? Every Thursday night?
Every Thursday night.
I really got to get out to that.
365 days a year, well, except for Christmas days.
Do you still play?
No, I don't know. I let the older seniors participate more than me.
Okay. You don't want to hear the dogs howl at night then? Actually, I got to get out there because I still play off and on, and I've been playing more on than off lately, and
Yeah.
I'd like to get out there, and a lot of people don't know that about me. I do have played guitar once in a while.
Yeah.
So thank you very much, Councillor. Councillor Daniel Muse, you have the floor.
Yeah, I just want to say that had the privilege of attending Paint the Ice, which was a new function that we did out at the Manor Center, where people come out at the end of the Surface Number 1, paint the ice, put whatever you want on there. It was, for the first year, it was well attended, and the Manor Center Management Authority decided that whatever money was collected, we were going to give it to the Meadowfields Playground. So we presented that to the Meadowfields principal a couple of weeks ago, and they were greatly appreciative of the donation. It was a little over $1,300, I believe, that was accumulated. I think it was a huge success for the first time. You know, we get a lot of help from Claire, because they're regulars at this, and they helped us along. So it was a great event, and it was brought to my attention that maybe I should mention there's a 50-50 draw done weekly, very similar to what the firefighters do, but it's for the local community halls that we have in our area, where you can buy a 50-50 ticket, and you support if you win, you say you like your proceedings to go to the Greenville Community Center, the Malvern Community Center, the South Ohio Community Center. So that's online, I think, but it's a great event, and very similar to the 50-50 that the firefighters do in the province, but it's just done here locally. So that's all I got to say.
Thank you very much, Council. Appreciate that. A lot of different events that are going on that I wished I could be everywhere, but I'm not. But bringing those events that are out, so just be forewarned, you may be asked this again.
Maybe one more.
Councillor Phil Mooney?
And tonight, the Doctor Recruitment Committee is, I think they have almost 40 residents are going to be in town tonight, and they're having a tour and a private supper for them tonight at the Yarmouth Golf and Country Club, or the Yarmouth Links. So hopefully Nancy can work her magic on getting a couple of recruits out of the residents.
Yeah, thank you very much. So that's my unorthodox warden's report. I'm thankful that all you councillors had some input, and maybe we'll look at doing this again in the future. So, moving on, reports from legal entities. You have in front of you some written reports. Is there any verbal reports? Councillor Daniel Muse.
So last night, we had a meeting at the Mariner Center Management Authority. We met and discussed the upcoming events, and the biggest thing, I think, right now is finding a new CEO. So we have a recruiter company from the Valley, Peak Experiences, and we're well into our process at this moment. I believe there's probably like 32 or 34 applicants, and we're hoping to have that shortlisted by the end of this week to 4 or 5, and start interviews next week. So hopefully in the next 6 to 8 weeks, we should hopefully have somebody. So that's the big thing there. You can see the minutes from our last meeting. The other thing I'd like to point out is MC Media is the media company that streams all the hockey games for the Mariners team, the Remembrance Day services, the high school graduation, minor hockey, Burridge campus graduation, the Graves hockey campus stuff. So it's a very, very vital part to the Mariners Center and to the public. So, you know, you hear that. I watched the hockey game, and I'm in Edmonton, and they're watching. So there's a very, very vital part to our organization, and they're just in a little bit of trouble right now, so we're trying to assist them in finding a way for them to move forward.
Thank you very much, Councillor. Any other reports for legal entities? Seeing none, moving on to advisory committees. Any verbal reports for advisory committees? There's written reports in there. Seeing none, ad hoc. Next item, 11, public comments. No one stepped up? Just a reminder to everyone out there that's watching, if you wish to speak to council for a maximum of 3 minutes in regards to council initiatives or something that you have on your mind, as long as it's in regards to a municipal issue, you're more than welcome to come in and you can have your say in front of council. All right, Councillor Muse.
If it's all right, Mr. Chair, I forgot something in my report. I would just like to say that the Mariners on Main, recently effective, I think June 3rd, has hired a new aquatics director, and that successful candidate was Haley Mood. So she'll be starting on June the 3rd, so we're happy about that.
Okay, thank you very much for that. All right, next item is in camera, but I'm calling for a 5-minute recess before we convene in camera. Someone willing to make that a motion? Moved by Councillor Phil Mooney, seconded by Councillor Jim Baxter. Take a 5-minute recess. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried unanimously.